You are listening to the Empress Quarters podcast where we talk about love, we talk about life, and we talk about energy. Thank you for listening. My name is Tori, and I am your host here. And today we are doing just that. We are talking about love. I actually had a different outfit on. I'm going to be honest with you. But a bitch got hot, and even my wig's still wet. That's how hot it was. Anyway, so I put on something a little more comfortable to do this podcast for you guys. Now, I also have been under the weather. This comes out on Mondays. It is Monday night as I'm doing this. So it's going to be posted right up just to keep, consistent. But I've been sick. I've been under the weather. I do apologize for that for the ones that are loyal. But however, let's get into it. So today's topic, like I said, is love. Now, what's the importance of love? For me, the importance of love is to pretty much have self-love. But at the same token, we just had Valentine's Day, and I think this is why I'm on this topic, because something is drawing me to this. Love is something that we all crave and we all want. But it's not something that's easy to come by, if you get what I'm saying. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Now, self-love is the easiest form of love. That's not just I look good, I feel good. That's making those decisions that you need to make for yourself that is going to make you, what's the word I'm looking for? Feel great about yourself here. Green is the theme today, so earthy love is coming to mind. Like something that's rooted in like deep, I'm joking, deep into like your pores there. So it's like earth vibes, earth feel. That's the vibe I'm getting. All right. Now, as you all know, I am a psychic. Watch Empire Exchange. That comes out every Friday. It's for your week ahead, energies. Nothing about love, though. I don't remember. You have to go watch it to remember. But within that community, there's specific things that we do talk about and that we do open up with. Now, I'm going to tell you, we're going to go through all of those things, and I'm going to go through some like foods and some beautiful things that I recognize as far as love is concerned. And then I'm going to actually tell you a couple personal stories. So, as always, sit back, relax. I don't know if you're driving, don't relax, obviously. Keep your eyes on the road. But sit back, relax. I'm going to tell you guys stories about love and why love is important in your life. I seem to think that, like, my experiences can also help someone else along their journey, whether it's today, tomorrow, 45 years from now. This video is not going anywhere. As long as I'm still around, it's not going anywhere. All right, now, first we're going to talk about types of love. You could have platonic love. That's your best friend. We all have at least one platonic love in our life. I can say I'm grateful to have at least three. When I say three, these are people that I trust to keep it real when the real needs to be kept. And I don't know if either of you are watching this. I don't think any three of you are watching this, but if you are, leave a comment. However, definitely platonic love is something that we all do crave. Some of us are very fortunate to have that platonic love, but I also think the more that you're in love with yourself, the more those people are going to be attracted to you. We also have, obviously, sibling or like family love. That's a beautiful love in its own right, because sorry, I gotta stay hydrated. I got really sick, and because I was dehydrated, I got even more sick. So we're not doing that. But anyway, you have your sibling with your family, like sibling love. Now, that's even harder to come by for a lot of people. You have people that have family situations that don't yield the results that they would like. However, everybody has a journey. Whether your journey is to, go through that situation and come out on top, or is it to feel better about who you are and cement yourself in some legacy that you're leaving behind. Don't know where that came from. Write it down. All right. Now we also have, romantic love. Now within romantic love, there's all kinds of different, types of things. You have your situationships, which, you have, your soulmates, your kindred souls, your one spirits, your twin flames. We're gonna touch a little bit on all of them. Um, I'll definitely go deeper into a few of them, and like later. I think next week I'm gonna go into my spiritual experiences, depending on how this video goes. But anyway, so for me, there is this idea, karmic. Let's start with karmic. You have karmic soulmates, and your karmic soulmates are the people. Actually, I'm gonna bring up my notes on this because I want to get more in depth here. But while I'm bringing up notes, tell me in the comments, what's an experience that you have that's giving you a lot of love and a lot of joy? It could be anything from like receiving a beautiful gift, or for some people, especially in the trans community, it's like taking your first hormone pills. Explain to me what you think is your most beautiful thing of love. All right, because I would love to hear it and I would love to discuss it. So definitely put that in the comments. Let's start a discussion. Sorry, apparently I was unprepared for this part. I didn't think to do this earlier because that wasn't something I planned on doing. Okay, so I actually just got 3 in here. Oh no, there's... Okay. We're going to touch on a little bit of different ones. We're going to start with romantic soulmates. Now, romantic soulmates are a deep love connection that, like, I wouldn't say it stretches by any of the imagination, but it definitely does. It deepens your soul. You feel emotional safety and attraction. See, this type of connection would be like you and your favorite celebrity. Maybe not somebody you're supposed to be with, but like you have this romantic soulmate connection. I mean, granted, they'd have to like you back for this. I'm not saying go out there and stalk anybody, because if you know me, I'll be the first one out there in a bush. But this person often supports your life purposes. So this is probably the person you're gonna end up with, is a romantic soulmate. Now, that's not to say that you don't have, a stronger soulmate connection, but this is normally the person that, you choose or have chosen as a partner. We also have karmic soulmates. I'm actually going to tell you a story about a karmic soulmate in a little bit, so we're actually going to save that for last. Yeah, we're going to save that for last. Twin flames, that's actually going to go with our karmic soulmate story. But we'll definitely talk about that. It's rare and intense, and not everybody has one. Let's start with that. The spiritual community, especially on TikTok, makes you think that everybody has a soulmate, or I'm sorry, everybody has a twin flame. You have a soulmate, not a twin flame. I do not believe everybody has a twin flame. I think people who do have a very spiritual purpose have a twin flame. Now, once again, that's going to bleed into my story here. I'm going to try not to use names. But child, you know me. We have companion soulmates. These are the people that are like your friends, the peaceful love connections. They're stable, they're grounded. It feels like home. These are the people that you just love to be around. The people that love to be around you. The people who cherish everything that you love. And then you have a soul family. Now that's your friends. That's the people that you can count on to give you that, what I say earlier, that hard truth without you being, excuse me, without you being, what's the word I'm looking for? Irritated that they gave you that truth. No, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. And if you guys are watching, you know me the best. You might tell me something, I might get a little pissed off, but I'll never be pissed off enough to be like, yeah, this bitch was fucked up. Especially the people who are there for you. You have past life soulmates. This is always somebody who, like, you feel from like a past life. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna add that to my story too. Sorry, I'm just writing that real quick. But definitely, I'm gonna give you some insights on some of my like past life things that I've gone through. But this is definitely a person that like you've known, you have some karmic ties with them, and you sometimes have to tie up those karmic ties before you can move on. And then you have purpose-based soulmates. These are people that come into your life for a purpose, and whether it's to inspire relocation or to help with a career shift, or even to be visible, help you push you towards visibility. Interesting. um I don't know, I said purpose based soulmate and I got a little weird tingle in my body. But definitely, now that we've gone through the different types of soulmates and like love that you could have based off of another soul being, and I say soul being, let's keep it real. Sometimes our soulmates are feminine, sometimes they're masculine. I'm never gonna say on this station, channel, podcast, my light just got brighter, man or woman, because once again, it's all about energy. Um, and I don't know, if you live in America in 2026, it seems to be that whatever is between your legs is what you are. Now, so, because once again, everybody's a soul at the end of the day. The flesh goes, the soul stays. But anyway, so there's that. Now, I am going to tell you a little bit of a story. Now, once again, I am going to preface this by saying this is based off of some personal experiences. You can choose to say this bitch is crazy, or you can choose to just listen. You never know. So I'm not gonna make any bold, wild claims and whatnot, and I'm not gonna go into specific details about everything, but I am gonna go into some details. Now, when I first had gotten my Kundalini, which we'll talk about that next week when we do the spiritual version of this, um, I had this weird energy burst, and within that, I started getting visions, and my visions were of a past life. Now, in this past life, I would always see beautiful palaces, like gorgeous rooms. I couldn't tell where it was, and I to this day I kind of know where it is. I'm never gonna tell you guys because once again, I don't mind being judged, but I also don't want to be in a straitjacket at the end of the day, or have somebody come after me for saying some shit like that. So all I can really tell you is that I woke up in this palace. I had five children, 4 or 5 children, and I went to go take care of them. My husband in this past life was someone who was very, very powerful, and I was just the wife of a powerful man. Man, we were on drugs. Let's keep it real. We were on drugs. Now, if you know me this lifetime, that also happened, but we'll get to that in a second. We met this man, this outside influence, who chose to be a shaman, who actually just got me on drugs and pretty much got the other person on drugs. And next thing you know, we fell. The family was murdered. Now that's the reason why you have birth certificates, birthmarks. My birthmark, I wish I could show it to you. It is on my leg, on my right leg, because that's kind of indicative of where you could have died in a past life, which I love that idea, because nobody really knows why they're there. But I have one on my right leg, and I think I have one on my neck somewhere too, or did. I don't know where it went. But either way, we were murdered. The whole family was murdered. It's actually a historical event. We'll leave it at that. Now, move to this lifetime. I meet people from that lifetime and the lifetimes, all the lifetimes, because powerful souls. But definitely, sorry, it was a little bit loud for me. But definitely, I met my ex husband. My ex husband was the same figure that got us, hooked on drugs. It was just a very, very nasty man. But however, this lifetime, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thoroughly enjoyed him. However, we did get hooked on drugs. He was never faithful. Um, and I said we got hooked on drugs, not he hooked me on drugs. Because once again, I could have just been like, "Fuck you, bro, I'm not doing that." But no, I actually just loved him so much that we ended up doing that. And yeah. so that's that. Now, we met this lifetime, and it wasn't a bad it wasn't terrible. I will say it wasn't terrible, but I also had a friend at the same time. Now this friend I'm in no longer contact with, which I wish him well. I mean, if you're watching this, which you might very well be, um, I wish you well. I hope you're doing wonderful. I hope everything is beautiful and is becoming beautiful for you. I believe he's in a relationship now, even better. Love that for you. Now, this lifetime, um, we're not together. Last lifetime we were like inseparable. This lifetime we got really close really fast. And of course, that should have been step number one of being like, okay, girl, you shouldn't be doing that. But I'm dumb. Uh, so, needless to say, when I first met him, he was dating some chick. I'm not gonna say any names, just to protect them and myself, because these people might be crazy. Anyway, um, so when I first met her, she was just crazy. She didn't think I caught half the stuff that she did, but I caught it. Like for example, um, he had to take a phone call or something. So he went outside to take this phone call. She looks over to me and she says, "How long have you known him?" I'm not gonna say his name. Hi, you almost caught me. I was like, "Oh, for a few months. No, we just became really good friends." She said, "Oh, we've known each other," and I'm also not gonna say the age that they met each other. Um, it's been off and on, but we love each other. I was like, "Oh, that's good. That's good. Good for you guys." So, uh, you know, how you peep something, but people don't think you peeped it. As I'm shuffling a tarot deck, she's not successful shuffling hers. So I'm thinking, this is weird. I don't like, girl. I don't want your man. This is when I didn't want him, and I think I forced myself to want him. We'll get to that in a second. So she then whines to him and all kinds of stuff, and he falls for it because he does. He likes her. Uh, Nothing bad on him. He likes her. I understand it. So we move on to the next thing. Blah blah blah. Um, she gives me this little vial of some hemp product because at the time I don't know if she still does. And once again, like I said, I'm not throwing any names out there. She owned a hemp company. So she was like, "Oh, try some of this." The minute she handed it to me, my soul told me not to. Cause I'm like, why would I use that? But I was like, oh, okay, thank you, girl. I definitely use it. I love stuff like that. So then we move on to, I don't know. Me and him had this very interesting, like it felt like words unsaid type of connection. Which, whatever. I mean, I said the words I needed to say. If you didn't say the words you need to say, that's on you. So, but definitely it's always very interesting. Him and my ex-husband actually, they didn't know each other, but they had a mutual friend that passed away, and I will never forget going to my ex-husband and being like, "Hey, my friend Blop, um, knows your friend Plop." And he's like, "What's your friend's last name?" So I told him. He said, "Oh, that guy." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, he wants to all of a sudden be his best friend. They hated each other. For well, sorry, I don't think they. Well, hold on, they did, but there's good reason. Now he was like, why don't you just go and have sex with him? In my head, I was like, sure, I'll do that. But like, we were together at the time. I was like, well, why would I do that? He's like, you seem to talk about him a lot, bro. This is the first time I mentioned him. Don't play. I think I mentioned him one time before that, or maybe it was right around the same time. And I said, oh yeah, because he was talking about how he doesn't want to, if God sends you a text message, you'd like to get it. He doesn't want to smoke anymore. Awesome, understandable. I get it. I get it. So my ex-husband heard that and was like, if the man with the mustache had a had a blunt, we wouldn't have had Holocaust, which is not the same thing. And this is not my quote. So do not say that I said that, because that is not something that I would go on record ever saying. If you know me, you know I'm very against all of that. So I'm just like, okay, that's a weird thing to say. Like, that's beyond weird. So, it turns out I call it, like, when me and my ex-husband were getting a fight, I'd call the other guy. And he would always be like, you need to get away from him, blah, blah, blah. So being a supportive friend. And I was like, eh. But I relapsed from drugs, and he had relapsed at the same time. And I must say, I do appreciate him, because he said, to protect you, I would rather you just not be here, because I relapsed as well. I was like, you know what? Thank you. However, that did push me back to my ex-husband, and that's one of the reasons why we got married. All right, so now both those situations are over. And now me personally, I haven't really been dating, because dating implies that I have to actually like put effort into something, and I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. If I told you guys the type of things that I have been through as far as dating, which we're gonna get into a couple of those now, actually. Like, for example, I have been. Say, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very vulnerable right now, and I don't like being vulnerable. Um, so I have, dated plenty of people where they've only used me for sex, or like they've used me for money, or they just used me for some reason or another. I have been ghosted more times than Casper. Um, it's to the point now that I might as well just marry Casper. So I have decided to not date until I figure out the type of person that I actually want to be with, which I have a list of the type of person I want to be with, and I'd like somebody from that list. But I'm also not that picky. I'm also not that picky. So definitely, we'll see where life takes us as far as that goes. But let's open up the conversation. Like, what type of experiences have you guys had that really made you think out of the box? Have you dated anybody who like has changed your life in such a dramatic way that like you don't like them but you appreciate them? um, do you have a type? Because I can tell you right now, if you're somewhat tan, have hair on your chest, and yeah, I don't really care about a deep voice, but they all have a specific tone in their voice, which I think is interesting. Um, then definitely hit your girl up, because I'm gonna be all over you. It's like, no, joking. But yeah, you have a specific type, throw that in the comments. Like I said, let's start a dialogue. Let's see what other people like, so maybe I can help with that, or or maybe my experience, or maybe I have an experience for that, or maybe my experience can help you. Either way, that's pretty much it as far as like the love aspect of things. Now, I will say there's a few people in my life currently that I can see myself spending my life with. Now, one of them, well, there's not a few. There's two. Um, and I'd rather them come to me than me go to them because I'm just not about that anymore. That's just not what I do. But there's one that's super supportive, super communicative. Um, doesn't really lets me be me, but like doesn't also still them. So there's there's that. Uh, but you never know. I mean, once again, I use ChatGPT to get like a picture of my supposed soulmate, and it looks nothing like this man. I'll keep it real. It looks nothing like that man. Um, but once again, it's not going to be accurate. So I don't always take those things to 200% account. What else? I think that's it. I think that's it. Is there anything else in here in my notes? Oh, oh. Congratulations. I feel, and I don't know why I need to say this. There's something that's about to happen for you that you didn't really expect, and it could be in love because we are talking about love. If this is me speaking to future me or me talking to future me, then congratulations, bitch, because you got it. But if not, definitely just congratulations to yourself because there is something that's about to pop up that you didn't really expect. It could be a new love. It could be, honestly, you might just get some, which would be nice too because a hoe has been dry. Um, I think somebody needs to like knock the dust off of this. Anyway, it could be a celebrity for some of you. It could be somebody with some sort of like local fame or notoriety, or just somebody who is a somebody. If you're looking for money, they might got some money. Um, but I do feel like 2026 is going to be a year where a lot of us meet that person we're supposed to be with. Now, for some of us, it's going to take off right away. For other of us, it's going to be a last little slope. Um, but definitely, I do think that 2026 is going to be impactful. Whether you're in a relationship right now or not, if you are in a relationship, if the relationship is going well, and I say that like with a ugh, because if it's going well, sweet, great, awesome. But if you're in a relationship and you don't feel like it's going very well, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Anyway, if their name is Jack, that's hilarious. But definitely, um, I don't think I have much else to say, but I do appreciate you for listening. Now, once again, my name is Tori. I am the host of the Empire Exchange podcast as well as the Empress Quarters podcast. Uh, Feel free to follow me on all of my socials, the Empire Exchange Pod, or you can do Tori underscore the THA underscore terrific on all of my socials as well, and Twitch. Um, I think that's it. I will be back next week with another video, and I believe this one's going to be on spirituality. So let's get that going. I'm going to do a little bit more research and have a little bit more to talk about. No, I'm joking. Spirituality, as far as like my spiritual journey and what you can expect on your spiritual journey and how you should deal with some things because all of us have journeys and sometimes we just don't know. So I'll be your manual, ho. But welcome. Like I said, I appreciate you for popping in. If I gave you a chuckle, if you liked the content, leave a comment. Leave a like. Let's get some dialogue started. Where you from? How you doing? Do I have anybody over in the UK? Do I have anybody over in France? Do I have anybody over in England? Well, that's the UK. But is there anybody there? And if you are there, say hello, wave, all that good stuff. And as always, stay beautiful, stay bold, stay fashionable, and stay royal.